Let's give it up one more time for Wrigleyville. She is one of our DJs. She plays on the Queen's Court, August 4th, 9801 South Avenue G. That's Humboldt Park Beach on the south side of Chicago. First Sunday every August. All female DJs, house music, Chicago. We're doing it for you. Thank you, Rosemary.
My favorite Frankie Knuckles quotes is that you don't have to like everything, but you have to listen to everything. And that is so true.
Because how we know if you like it. If you
Right.
listen.
I have come across some amazing tracks in genres that I never would have thought, that I never would have dug through, that I never would have imagined even sound like that. But it's because I gave it a chance. And I want to listen to everything, but the way my time is set up right now, it makes it hard for me to listen to everything. And so sometimes I have to kind of, I go to the charts, but I don't strictly stay there. So I look through that, I look through all sorts of folders. If I see an artist that I like, I kind of fall down that rabbit hole and I say, well, if I like this, let's see what else they've got. And I don't limit myself to just the new stuff. I will go do a deep dive on, on an artist or on a label even. I say they've been putting out great stuff. Let's see what their whole catalog sounds like. And I'll pick things that people haven't heard in ages, and sometimes that's a great feeling too, because sometimes what's new to you can be a classic to somebody else.
Exactly.
As long as you're both feeling it.
And we can connect to a new audience
Right,
as well.
Exactly. And now my kids too, they connect to music that I listened to way back in the day. And to see them enjoy it and have my own nostalgia about it is nice. And I love giving that feeling to other people. I guess one of the big things that I could talk about that I love to was that Soulful Kings group that I worked with. The way that I came into that group was actually through meeting my husband, who was one of the first people that introduced me to house music and took me to the first spots that I got to dance and really enjoy music, and exposed me to all of these incredible people that I played with and got the chance to learn from. And that was the big part that I believe, it was great. He was a part of the first residency that I had as well. That was a part of the story on how I first got into there too, because the funny thing is that spot, it was known as Fiesta Cantina, but the upstairs was Club Eden, they called it. And that's where they played house music. So we did the Wrigleyville thing at the bottom, but the guy that owned that was actually, I think, his gym teacher in grade school. So he knew him for a while, and we would go to the spot and visit, and that was kind of how we got asked to play there.
Oh, wow.
And why they gave me the chance to, as a 19-year-old, have a residency over on Park Street. But I'm really grateful for that. That was a great time. We got the chance to play together, and he was a big part of the Soulful Kings crew too. Like I said, we had one DJ that did funky house and one that did more disco house, and he did it well. I really enjoyed listening to his sets, but I think it was listening to all of that motivated me to want to get started too, because, and it's not knocking it, I enjoyed, like I said, what he played, but I always felt like there was so much more to it. And as much as we loved playing those same records, I was always looking for new music. And I kind of wanted to veer in my own direction and see what happened. I'm happy that I did, because a lot of amazing things have happened because of it. He was sick and had an asthma and breathing issues, so back in 2019, unfortunately, we lost him, and a lot of the reasons I feel like I'm motivated now to accomplish my goals and work hard is because I feel like I'm not working for just myself at this point. I know that all of these amazing events that I've had the honor of getting put on, he would be so proud, and be happy for me. And I'm always grateful to the house community for helping me get through that, because it was through coming back to the music that's really helped my healing through it. So.
I later found out that there were also some additions that we need to be.
Yes. So I might have mentioned S&S, but I think you didn't really understand who was behind S&S and what that means to have my first record come out on S&S. That's the label that belongs to Steve Silk Hurley and Shannon Skip Zayas. So yeah, I'm still speechless, and it's been 2 years now almost since that happened. So they're incredible people, and they're super supportive and open to bringing in new talent, and open to just listening to what you have to offer, and really giving people a chance. So I'm super excited, to hear that they wanted to take on our first EP. But that was through DJ Seven, who you met last week, our guest here on the Red Lab, or in the Red Garden. He is a good friend of mine, and I always talked to him a lot about when I was DJing, how frustrating it was sometimes, because I would have these ideas for music and have all these sounds in my head and things that I thought would make great tracks, and I just didn't know yet how to put that, to put that on, not necessarily paper, but on a computer, to make it something. And he was super helpful and willing to help me learn and show me how to create my vision. I would tell him, this is what I would love for this to sound like, and he would help me figure out how to make that happen. And so little by little, I would send him stuff that I thought, I would listen to something and be like, oh my gosh, I would love this, and I would just shoot it right his way. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And it got to the point where he was like, all right, we need to do something about this, and it got to a point where I got this idea to start listening to videos of WNUA 95.5, like old recordings that they have up on YouTube because I love jazz, I really do. And so I was looking for my inspiration there, and I came across this song that the sound just blew me away. I loved it, and right in that moment it was like, this is the one. I want it to be this one. This is going to be the first one. Yeah, and we had a record release party over at, we had two of them actually, one at Enjoy over in Logan's, on Division Street, and one at Esmeralda's. Which was interesting, because that then led to the first time that was the first time the owner of Esmeralda's heard me play, and he really enjoyed my set, and had me in mind to play later on at the end of that year. So that was an interesting dynamic. And that's why I really like to say that you never know who's listening when you play. Because I've had some great opportunities come from people that have really enjoyed my set, and I had no idea that they were even there.
And so during that time when you were doing 2 residencies, how did you pick the music for each?
So the venue is important. One was on Division Street, and so that's like they're both north side spots, but Esmeralda's is a Taino lounge, and so for me that had a different meaning. It had a deeper meaning because I am of Puerto Rican descent, and so for me to have the residency at a spot that is the only Taino lounge in the city that I know of was unbelievable.
That's a big deal.
It is. And my father was into music, and he's no longer with us as well. And when I was younger, he would play music with his friends, like just impromptu bands in Humboldt Park. And so for me to be a part of playing in that neighborhood and at the Taino Lounge, where I really wanted to connect that set to my roots. It had to be Afro-Latin. It did. I wanted to play the most, and I kept saying it, like the most Puerto Rican set I could, while still maintaining my house, roots.
Right.
But I wanted the Latin vibe to be there. Some of the tracks that I played were like remixes of songs that my dad used to play. Remixes of stuff that I used to listen to my mom and my aunt play, in the house while they were cleaning. And it was special. It was really special. But enjoy. Now that's more like the crowd that hangs out there. It's like being with my friends. And so that vibe is a little different. I was more into the jack-in and the really trying to beat it, you know what I mean? That I really wanted to bring it for that one and stick to what really brought me into house music, which in the beginning was a lot of jack-in and tech and deep house. So I kind of went back to my roots in that sense there, of what I really like, the vibe of the first tracks that I really enjoyed enough to want to buy the records that I wanted to play. Kings of Tomorrow, I can't go without saying that. Finally, the Julie McKnight, that is still, I'd have to say, probably my all-time favorite. That was another one that kind of gives me all the feels when I hear it. The words have a lot of meaning to me too. Sometimes you connect with the music, and sometimes you connect with the lyrics. That one, it's both.
Intersects.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So, leading into getting all of this musical experience, let's go into how that prepared you for getting asked to open for Lil Louis.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, that group that I came up and played with really did a great job of exposing me to all different kinds of house music, and so has the Red Lab and the Red Garden, and working on the booth, and even Esmeralda's, I'll say, all of those experiences have given me the opportunity to really expand my horizons from where I was, to listen to all kinds of music, from the soulful stuff all the way to techno, and back again. They've given me the chance to play all that, music. I've played lounges, like small ones like Esmeralda's and even smaller, and I've played big, huge events. And so that also kind of let me expand my horizons. And so, but one of the first, that's another one of my husband's favorites, and mine too was French. It was French Kiss, of course. Man, we played that so many times. That's a great one. And so it was.
I mean, that and Blackout for me.
Yes. Like, his music is timeless, and that is what I want my sets to be as well. I want people to be able to go back and listen to them at any point, at any time, and enjoy it. Whether it's 2016, 2024, or 2000, or whenever, it is that they come across it. And his music is a lot like that. So I've always loved listening to his tracks and his sets, and followed his music. And my husband was a super fan. So when I was asked to even just help, promote the event and participate, and then when I was asked to be a part of the team, I was all for it, and I wanted to give it my all. I didn't expect to be asked to play. I really didn't. I just went in as it would be a great experience just to get to know him, to see what his history, is, and how can I relate to that? What can I learn from him? Because he's been doing this on a level that's, way above mine. So anything that I can learn from people like that, I try to. I just want to gain experience in that department, and he had a lot to teach, and he was willing to have some really deep conversations with us about his journey and how he got there, and what his purpose is, at this point in his life. And that was touching me here, and we had some great conversation, and so I was happy just to have it be that. And then when I got asked on my birthday to play with him, that was like the best birthday present ever. It really was. It made me emotional. I tell you, we were dancing on the dance floor, and Ron will tell you, I went from like smile on my face to tears coming out my eyes. And he was like, wait a minute, what's happening? What did I miss? And I was like, no, it's good. It's good tears. It's good tears. This is such a great feeling, and I'm so blessed and happy. And I just wish that the people that I know would be proud of me, that can't be here could, but I know they are.
Yeah,
they definitely are. And I know they're pushing for me on the other side. I feel like a lot of these kinds of situations, I'm like, I know y'all are working up there for me. So, thank you.
Right, you got a spiritual team.
Yes, I do. A big one. The whole football team. Oh my.
How do you balance that, the work, home life?
It can be difficult sometimes.
How do you find harmony and synergy between them?
Yes. So, like I was saying earlier, the best way I have found to do that is because I know my weekends are busy. And Friday we're here in the Red Lab in the Red Garden. Most Saturdays, if not every Saturday, I have an event somewhere. And Sundays we're in the booth. So I try to make sure that the early in the week, after the weekend, I focus on family time and on self-care. So usually my Mondays are days that I stay off of the music. I separate myself from it. I focus on my kids. I focus on my home, family time, watching movies, and just kind of it's like a palate cleanser. And it lets me kind of get rid of, all of the stuff from last weekend, and refocus myself. And then Tuesday is usually self-care. So that's rest, whatever that means, if I need time to relax, to get extra rest, to also not focus on music, my home, things like that, but mainly myself, reading, anything that's for myself, and my well-being. And then Wednesday is when I get started on the next week, figuring out what I'm feeling for that set, trying to read, depending on where it is, the venue, what my vibe is going to be, what genre I want to play, and starting to dig through music for that. And then Thursday, it's working those folders down to a science and trying to get to a place where I can get it all out my USB and ready for Friday all over again.
Wow. So that's like the whole process.
Yes. And it has to be at this point, because before, it was when they were, one a month or two a month, it was, I could just, I had plenty of time, so I wouldn't really path it up that way. But now I have to have it down to a science. And even then, there are times where I come to Thursday and I'm like, I still don't know. But there's some technology is amazing, and sometimes there's many different ways for me to work it out. Like I've done things like I have a record box app on my phone, and so and track source and things like that. I try to dig while I'm on the road. If I'm driving, I can dig for tracks and listen to whatever's new out there.
Nice.
Take a snapshot, or I put it in a folder, or I'll throw it in a cart, and when I get home I can go through the cart and see if I still if I'm still feeling those. And then the record box app helps too. You can sync it to your computer after you've created your playlist, and I can kind of on my lunch break play around with some of the songs and see what sounds good together and things like that. So it helps cut down on the time that I need to do all that at home.
So how many hours, and this will be my last question, before your any last words that you'd like to offer, about how many hours a week do you spend digging for music, would you estimate?
So it depends on how long the set is going to be. And how much of that stuff I already have in folders, because that's a whole other discussion I have with Ron often, is how much I dig for music and when do I put a period in that. And it's hard for me to put a period in it because I, like, for example, if I'm looking through, I used to dig in just added folders, and that's just a huge folder of everything that's downloaded into TrackSource that day, all the genres, all the everything. And sometimes that can feel a lot like a needle in a haystack, but wow. I appreciate it because not everything that I think is a wonderful track makes it onto the charts or onto the top 100s, and I don't want that chart to dictate to me what is good music and what is not. I want my ears to tell me that.
And what would you say was the best piece of advice that you got from your conversations with Lil Louis?
Oh gosh, there were a lot of them. He's a really deep person, which is nice to see. But a couple of things that stuck with me was in regards to like production. He said that the way to make your music timeless, you have to sit with it sometimes. It's like I've got probably thousands of tracks that will never see the light of day, but it's because I couldn't sit with them. And if you want your music, it's like quality over quantity. If you want your music to last in the minds and in the hearts of people, you have to be able to sit with it and really listen to it and never get tired of it. It's got to give you goosebumps every time. It's got to make you smile, just like
that's
that.
That's a high bar.
It is. But I feel that because I have already worked on music that unfortunately wasn't what the vision that I had for it was different than the vision that the label I was working with had for it. And so that also will never see the light of day, unfortunately, because I refuse to put my stamp on something that I'm not proud of and that I don't get that feeling from. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, then
you got the veto power at the end of the day. So.
Right. I still have to put my name on it as an artist. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, because I want it to be quality over quantity. Mm-hmm. You see, Lil Louis has put out a ton of music, but it's a fraction of what he's created. And so I understand that. Mm-hmm. And I'm learning to be patient with myself because, like I said, when I first came into production, it was like this desperation. Like, I have all this music in me and I don't know what to do with it. I literally told him I felt like I was going to explode. It's just, I need to get it out. I need an avenue to get this out. I need to be able to vent it. And it's been so helpful to be able to do that. Because now I have an avenue to work. And not every idea is gonna work out, but trying things out and, you know, working and knowing how to work with things has really been an amazing experience. It is, and I'm excited to work on the projects that I'm starting now, because they'll be better, even better, you know, than the last one.
Can you give us some insight as to anything new that's about to pop off?
Well, me and Seven are back in the studio working on a few things. And we've got a couple of labels that we're already in connection with to be sending them to, as well as with Steve and Skip. We've got some stuff that we're working on for them. So I'm really excited to get, and we have our own project that we're working on for like an Afro-Latin. So we've got a couple in the works.
Nice.
Yes. I'm super excited for all of it.
Every sway spelling out my truest name. I open deeper than I thought I could. Every note rewriting what I misunderstood.